Yeah, that's right. Lee Carsley's side takes charge of his first 2 games actually as interim England manager. He's starting away in Ireland on Saturday afternoon at the Aviva. That's going to be a good game.
It's a good game, that.
Proper atmosphere as well.
Yes.
Proper. He's added an abundance of youth to the squad. He's brought in players that he's worked with in the past from England under 21s, and talkSPORT's Faye Carruthers caught up with one of those players, Noni Madueke, yesterday and started by asking him how he got the call.
Yeah, so we had a game midweek in Europe, in Switzerland. So I got a text from Cars. He said, give me a buzz when you can. So I kind of had an inkling that it might be about this. And then I just called him and he broke the news to me, and yeah, I was just super happy.
What did you say to him?
I think first I said, you serious? And then he said, yeah. I was like, okay, thank you. I'll see you soon.
Is there a little part of you that when you saw Lee get the job on an interim basis that you thought, okay, he knows what I can do?
Yeah, definitely. I think when one of your old coaches gets a job, you always think, oh, okay, he'll probably be looking at me just because he knows who I am. But I feel like you always have to then think, okay, cool, let me focus on my club and focus on performance so I can even put myself in the discussion. So that's what I tried to do, and thankfully I'm here now.
It was good to hear from him yesterday. Seems like a lovely boy.
Yes, he does, yeah.
That's the thing as a player, Gabby, when a manager comes in who you know rates you and trusts you, you must go, hello.
When they saw he got it, I bet a lot of them players that played in the under-23s of him, under-21s, were like rubbing their hands together. Morgan Gibbs-White, because you know that you would have got on with him. He would have liked your style of play. So fair play to the manager for picking them, and now it's their time to shine.
Absolutely. And the game is live for you Saturday here on talkSPORT. Republic of Ireland against England, and our England correspondent Faye Carruthers will be there. She's with us now. Morning, Faye.
Good morning, Faye.
Morning, Shaban. Morning, Gabby. You okay?
Yeah, good, thank you, Faye. You've probably just about recovered from the heartbreak of the final, and now you've got this new manager, new squad.
You mean the heartbreak of Southgate leaving, because she was very sad at that.
Yeah, Faye,
Gabby.
you that. It's a new start for you. What's the feeling like in camp and with the media interviews, Faye?
Yeah, it's really good. It's really positive. It's a kind of natural progression, really. Although obviously all of us had got used to working alongside Gareth Southgate and seeing him at St George's Park every time we went. He was there in charge of the national side for 8 years, and there before as under 21 coach himself. That's strange in a way, but at the same time, it's just a really smooth transition because Lee Carsley and his backroom team have come up straight from the under-21s. They know the players really well. The players know St George's Park really well themselves. So, yeah, it didn't feel like a jar at all. It felt like a smooth transition, and everybody seemed in a really good mood. The players, of course, who didn't make the Euro squad, or maybe didn't get as many minutes as they would have wanted out in Germany, or looked in good spirits as well. So, yeah, it's an exciting new era.
I wanted to ask you about training, Faye, because, as a footballer, different managers come in, different style of training. Have you seen any change in how they've set up?
Well, Lee Carsley puts the cones out, which has become a bit of a fascination for people, it feels. He's been described, and you'll have heard this phrase before, Gabby, as more of a tracksuit manager, if you like. He's a coach. He's on the grass. So he does things a little bit differently. He's got his own routines with things, but you'd expect that when somebody came in, that they would, stick to that. You don't have to do anything different just because you have the top job, in inverted commas. You've just got to keep doing what got you that top job in the first place, and that works for him. But all the players that I spoke to actually yesterday talked about Lee Carsley from a man management point of view, which is very similar to how they used to speak about Gareth Southgate, in terms of he cares about them as people, not just as players on the pitch and what they can do. They haven't really had any tactical sessions yet, because yesterday the open session that we saw at St George's Park was the second time that they were on the grass, and obviously the game's on Saturday. So, today will probably be the big game in the big training session in terms of the tactics ahead of Republic of Ireland on Saturday. But he's going to do things his way, and I think that's really important.
Gabby, when you look at the squad and the call-ups who Faye spoke to yesterday getting their debuts, do you think you're going to see a different style of football? And Faye, in training, what you've seen, I know when the media are there, they're not going to give anything away, but do you think it's going to be a different style, a bit more attacking?
I think if you look at the players that he's picked, I think it will be. I think it might be one sitter, mightn't it, Faye, and maybe two in front. Because didn't the squad come out, Faye, as Foden and Palmer as midfielders? That was interesting, not as forwards.
Yeah, and Trent Alexander-Arnold as a defender. And Lee Carsley said he sees him as a right-back. None of the midfield experiment that we've seen previously. With Trent, you've got Tino Livramento in there as well as right back. No Kyle Walker, no Luke Shaw. So it's going to be interesting to see who he decides to put in that left back role. Rico Lewis has done that before. Brilliant player. I'm really looking forward to seeing him back in England.
Colwell,
top again.
maybe.
I thought he was second. Colwell, particularly. I think a lot of people were surprised that Colwell wasn't in the side for the Euros, actually. There's been a lot of recalls as well as newbies coming up. And, this is a time not to experiment because they want to get out of Nations League Group B and get back into League A and competing for the finals. But at the same time, this is a brilliant opportunity for Lee Carsley to look at what the squad could be for 2026 and Mexico, Canada, and the USA in the World Cup. Qualifying starts next year. And that tournament, as we know, all tournaments come around very, very quickly. And, he's got to start looking to that. So these kind of games, with no disrespect at all, by the way, to Republic of Ireland and Finland, who are going to be really big tests, it's a good way of bedding in some of the younger players, seeing what they can do and seeing how they can potentially change as a team.
Faye, can I just ask you before you go, Ivan Toney was a big subject of conversation here on talkSPORT Breakfast yesterday with Ali and Jeff, and was there any chat amongst the journals yesterday and the media as to if he can make his way back into the England squad or if he's ruined it because he's gone to Saudi?
Well, that wasn't on the agenda yesterday. I think it's going to be a question again for Lee Carsley. I mean, we saw what happened with Jordan Henderson when he went out to Saudi, and Gareth Southgate said, the league is not quite the same as it is here, so it's a different pace. But equally, we know what Ivan can do. I mean, there's only one recognised striker, number 9 in this squad now that Ollie Watkins has pulled out as well, and that's Harry Kane. And obviously, Ivan wasn't selected for this squad because he hadn't played any minutes for Brentford because that transfer was going through. It's going to be really difficult for him, but he will have. He would have weighed that up.
Yeah, look at Steven Bergwijn. Look at what Koeman says, that he's finished, basically. Yeah. So I can't see him getting picked, but I look at Ivan Toney, I don't think he'd be that fussed, to be honest, Faye. He's gone there, 20 million a year, happy days.
Well, listen, Gabby, he'll have known. Yeah. He'll have known by taking that move that probably, his England career will have to take a back seat because of the difference in the league and the speed of it. But at the same time, as you say, sometimes a deal has to work for a player, and clearly going out to Saudi works for Ivan Toney and is more important to him. And good luck to him with that. That's absolutely his and his people's choice to do.
Faye, have fun in Dublin. Have a nice wee pint of Guinness.
Thank you,
Faye. And we'll hear from you on Saturday, okay? Republic of Ireland against England live for you on talkSPORT. Faye, Carruthers, thank you. Our England correspondent coming up next. We're going to ask our very own Gabby Agbonlahor, has he ever been in a showman's?
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.